You're listening to Operation Self Reset, the product of you. What is going on, you freaking awesome people? Welcome back to Operation Self Reset. My name is Jake Naraki, coming to you live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where each and every week we dive into a different topic in the world of personal development. Today is unlike any other show because instead of talking about the things that you should be doing, we are truly talking about thyself. We're talking about you. Now, if you have been listening to the show, I just want to say again, thank you for your time. There are a lot of great podcasts, and I appreciate you guys spending a couple of minutes with myself. Now, if you haven't noticed, I've been really digressing in the world of interviews, and I only say that because I think it's good to kind of get back to the foundation of Operation Self Reset, which is just me on the microphone. But I also understand the value of good interviews, good information that can assist you in your own personal reset. Now, that will come, but today we're not talking about what others can do for you. It's actually identifying what you can do for yourself. And so today's show title is The Product of You. And I think this is a very good title and a very good wake-up call for some of us. You know, in a world of consumer products, in a world of YouTube videos, in a world of reviews and analyzing, this versus that, it's really good to identify if you are a product, if you're sitting on a shelf, would people or would you go and buy you? Sounds really ridiculous. I mean, almost imagine yourself as a life-size figure, Ken doll figure, wrapped in a box. Well, I say Ken doll because I'm a man. For you, you may be a Barbie. And imagine yourself as a full grown adult or middle-aged person wrapped in a cellophane box with a logo and cool branding and all that stuff, standing there or standing upright inside of that box, watching onlookers pass by and reading the things that you can do, identifying the type of quality that you have, and seeing if that person or yourself would buy you. And it's a really weird and odd question. And the first idea that comes to mind is actually Toy Story. Toy Story number 2 or 3, they walk through the aisles of a different toy store and they start analyzing the other toys on the shelves. And obviously those toys are not moving, but some of them are. And imagine yourself as that Toy Story character walking through, Buzz Lightyear, walking down that aisle and seeing all these boxes. And some are bright colored, some have, fireworks going off, some are, very modern and sleek and trendy. And the question is, would you buy yourself? Now, it's a odd question, and the reason why I bring this up, this whole kind of idea of the product of you, is because currently I'm in the market for purchasing a new vacuum. A new vacuum cleaner here in the United States is pretty overwhelming, to be honest with you. Not one vacuum can do it all. Some vacuums are very strong on carpet, some are very strong on hardwood floors. Some are battery powered only, some are corded, some are bagless, some are bagged, some are, they have like the slinky, like the big housing, and then they come with the tube. Some are really expensive, some are really cheap, and we understand the value and identifying of finding the right product that fits your needs. Now, right now, myself and my wife are in the market for a new vacuum. We are looking at a cordless option. We are looking at a Dyson cordless vacuum. I think it's like the Dyson V8 or the Shark Iconic, which is maybe their new trendy battery-powered model that has like a kind of like an elbow in the middle of the shaft or what have you. And those two models we're really debating going over. The price difference is substantial, like $60. We are Costco members, so we get a pretty good deal of buying a Dyson vacuum for about $80 off. Brings it in the wheelhouse about $40 to $50 between the two companies. Now, like I said, when it comes to a consumer buying a product, there's a lot of variables that go into deciding. Is it worth the price? Is it worth the value? Is it worth the commitment of owning a vacuum for that amount of time and paying that amount of price? Now, currently a Dyson vacuum, which is kind of the iconic, high value, high price brand that is going on in the United States now and possibly even worldwide. They do a great job with marketing. Their vacuums look awesome. The technology is so complex, you have no idea even if it's true or not. It can, it has cyclone, tornado technology. It's like, wow, I need that. My house will be cleaner than ever. And of course, the commercial, the models, the demonstration that they use, the house is pure white, which represents clean, and the person vacuuming is very put together. There's not a a hair out of place. There is not a eyelash that is sticking to the other. It is a perfect, well-written commercial that creates a feeling of excitement, knowing that if I have a Dyson vacuum, my house is going to look amazing. Now, on the other hand, you look at the Shark commercials. Shark commercials are just as good. They do a great job marketing. But if you notice, their commercials are more geared towards the mid-tier, middle line consumer. They show a normal house with normal wear and tear. The individual that is vacuuming is still very nice, very pleasant to look at, but they're wearing standard clothing, nothing that is super modern, super chic. Now, obviously, they're going after a different market as opposed to the super modern, super ultra high-end Dyson consumer. Now, for me, I am a middle-aged individual. I have 3 children. I live in a decent house that has, that some areas are more updated than others. But like anything, as Americans and as people that have visions for yourself, you're a dreamer. And as dreamers, you're always thinking of bigger and better. And when you're thinking of bigger and better, you're also thinking of buying bigger and better products. And those products lie in the higher end category of money. Now, like right now, deciphering between the two, the Dyson, the 3 kind of keywords that come to mind are powerful, it's cool, and I feel that the price towards the value is pretty good. Like, it's expensive, but you feel okay paying that because you feel like the technology's there, everything's there. The cool factor, it's powerful, it has everything you need. It might be worth the money. Now, on the other side, the Shark vacuum, it's cheaper, it's very practical, but is it cheap? And not cheaper as in the price is cheaper, but is it cheap? Like, I don't know, maybe the technology is old. Maybe the way that the hinges lock together is kind of rackety or rigid or whatnot. And as you can see, a lot goes into the mind of the consumer who buys the products today. Of course, it doesn't matter if Dyson even holds a candle to what it proclaims on the commercials, or Shark, vice versa. It really doesn't matter because marketing and advertising can totally sway you without even getting your hands on it. But it shows a lot of different ideas that come into the world of buying a product. And so I want you to take a second and analyze what we just talked about. And I want you to think about, for you, what's a purchase that you made recently that you analyzed or him and hawed over? Was it a Ford versus a Nissan? Was it a Dyson versus a Hoover? Was it a trip outside of the country as opposed to a trip, inside of the country? Was it a organic salad versus a regular processed salad? And as you can see, we all have choices and decisions on a regular basis. And we go through some type of funnel through our brain to analyze and to think, was that worth it? Was that a good buy for you? Now, obviously, that's something that you have to think of personally. But let's take a second and go back to us standing there inside of the store, inside of that box, standing inside of it, with our advertising on the outside, and I want you to think of who you are right here, right now. Of all the things that are good, let's just focus on all the things that are good. Of all your good attributes, would you buy you? Now, chances are we would, because of course, you're only going to market the things that are amazing. Just like in social media, you're never going to post the things that are irritating you. You're never going to post the things that make you depressed. You're never going to post the things that keep you up at night worrying or analyzing or judging or feeling crappy about yourself. You're never going to do that, right? Because social media, Facebook, is there to only show the good. Just like all the words and all the marketing that's going to be on the exterior of your box. It's only going to be good. But only till somebody purchases you, or you purchase yourself. You bring yourself home, you take the knife, you cut off the top, you tear the tape, you pull yourself out, you get your hands on that device, that product, on yourself. Only until you use it a couple times you realize that, wow, this was a really good deal, or whoa, this was really crappy. Whoa, this was not as advertised. Whoa, this has more issues than I ever imagined. And that's how relationships are, right? We meet somebody for the first time, we get wowed, swifted off our feet, we think this individual is amazing, only till a couple days later, a week later, a month later, even a year or 10 years later, do we realize this person was not a good fit for me. The as seen on TV was more appealing than the in person, real life exposure, hands on the product. Do I realize the value of this person, the value of this relationship that benefits me as the consumer? Now, in this kind of category of us analyzing ourselves, there's one statement I want you to identify and think of as you're starting to think of all the good attributes that you have towards yourself. And that is this statement: who are you when no one is around? Hey guys, sorry for the interruption, but let's talk about today's sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by SawarKit. SawarKit is a new app-based only fitness program that will allow you to work out from anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. Now, I am a full-time firefighter. I'm an individual that needs to make sure that my body is in peak physical condition, because as you know, with the fire service, an alarm can come in at any time when I'm awake or when I'm sleeping, and I got to make sure that my body responds. But just like you, there are moments when I just don't feel like working out, or the days when I come off duty, home to 3 young kids, other projects, other honey to-do list, things that I need to accomplish. There are days and moments when I cannot get a workout into my day. But I understand the importance of trying to make sure that my body is moving, to make sure that my body can respond when I need it. All you have to do is download the SawarKit app and join the other 25 million people who use SawarKit to work out. Most people don't work out because they don't think they have the time or find it too intimidating. SawarKit guides you with video workouts for your specific needs that can be done at home in little as 5 to 15 minutes, and truly they can help you get in the best shape of your life. I'm a big fan of fitness. I'm a big fan of making sure I'm doing something every single day, but just because you're only working out from 5 to 15 minutes doesn't mean you can't get a good workout in. Truly, there are massive results found by using the SawarKit app. And to make sure that you use it, they're providing you guys, listeners of Operation Self Reset, amazing value. All you have to do is go to sawarkit.com. That is SWORKIT.com/Operation Self Reset. Once you enter that in, they'll make sure to give you 10% off of their amazing company, amazing product, and of course, amazing videos that will assist you in making sure that you get in the best shape of your life in as little as 5 to 15 minutes. All you have to do is go to SawarKit, SWORKIT.com/Operation Self Reset to receive 10% off. Once again, SawarKit, SWORKIT.com/Operation Self Reset. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the interruption. And thanks again to SawarKit for providing the advertising for this show. Now back to the show. Who are you when no one is around? It's a very deep, very interesting quote. Who is it from? I have no idea. But nonetheless, it's a very good statement that makes you identify, who am I when no one's around? Do I proclaim on the exterior of my box that I'm hard working, that I'm determined, that I exercise all the time, I watch what I eat, I get 8 hours of rest, I read, I educate myself, I'm curious, I explore, I try new things, I go outside of my comfort zone? But yet, when no one is around, how do you act? How do you react? Do you live up to those words? It's a very interesting statement, and it has caught me off guard a couple of times. There has been times on this podcast where I proclaimed, get things in order, do a nightly journal routine, meditate every single day. And when I'm off the mic, do I do that every single day like clockwork? No, I don't. And it's good to identify it. It's good to realize that I'm not perfect, but it makes me realize, what type of value am I bringing to myself? What type of value am I bringing to my own box? Am I living up to the statements that are on the exterior of my box? It's valid. It's interesting. And for you, you need to think of, what are your benefits? What is your price? What are your outputs? And what is your long-term value? Now, again, I want you to imagine that you're in that aisle, that you come upon yourself. The first thing that we all do is we take a quick scan of the product itself. If the product looks sexy, attractive, something that we could use, beneficial in a flash of 3 to 5 seconds, we immediately go to the price. Because we have to see how much it is to see if what we perceive as value is worthwhile. That's the first thing, the price. What is your worth? What are you worth? Truly, personally, identify that. If you were to put a value on who you are today as you stand, sit, drive, walk, clean, work, what is your price right here, right now? I don't know. I don't even know. If I was to answer that, I don't know. What is the human cost nowadays? What would I be priced at? And if you can't think of an actual figure, I want you to think of, are you premium? Are you mid-tier? Are you low-end? Or are you dollar store type quality? I would love for all of us to say premium. I would love for all of us to say, I would charge the most. I'm the most amazing individual in the whole wide world. You don't know what you don't know because you're not with me. But when you have me, your world will change. Now, obviously, in that statement, there's a lot of moving parts, right? Number one is confidence. Feeling secure in who you are, what you're about, even though you may have faults, and we all do, so you do have faults, but even with that, you own it. You appreciate it, and you don't care because you know your value is still really good. Now, are you mid-tier? And you think, I can benefit some people, but I have some issues, and I got some baggage, and things aren't going that good. But overall, I mean, I'll be there for you. Or are you Dollar General, where you just feel like you can use me and dispose of me, and I don't care, and you shouldn't care either because I'm worthless? Now, if you're sitting in that zone, in Dollar General zone, then I hope that you continue to listen to these podcasts and get your morale and confidence up to obviously get to that mid-tier or premium level. But for the rest of us who are kind of fluctuating in between, the mid-tier and premium level, it's something to identify who the heck you really are when no one is there. So the first thing we understood was the price. Where is our value at? The second is the benefits. What benefits do you bring to yourself? What benefits do you bring to others? And lastly, what benefits do you bring to the world? Are you working just so you can get off, as in get time off? Are you working just to survive? Are you bringing your full self every single day? Are you inspiring others? Are you telling people to quit smoking, quit drinking, to get out of their own way, get out of their own head, and open up their eyes and world to possibilities beyond others? Now, that's a big pill to swallow, a big pill to swallow. My father owns a lot of real estate. He tells people all the time to quit smoking, quit drinking, to stop renting from him, to get organized, to pay their bills, to start saving money, to own something, to own their own home, to own their own car, to get out of the rat race. He tells them that on a regular basis. When I was growing up, I thought that was BS. I was like, Dad, why are you wasting your time? Who cares? Let them live their own life. But what I realized is that the benefits of my father wasn't so much to collect rent from others, but the benefit was to make an impact for them so they could make an impact in the world. And until recently, within the last 5, 10 years, did I realize, you know what? You know what? My dad was doing something cool. He was going against the grain. He was trying something that not too many people maybe gave to those types of individuals who are down on their luck, who feel depressed, who don't feel like things are going well, that they're barely surviving every single day, every single work check. And he's giving them hope, the idea, the vision of what could potentially be. That's a benefit that can help the world. I mean, think if the world, or the population of the world, or just think of your state, or city, or town, or even street that you're on right now, that was super confident, that was super motivated, that had a good vision, that wanted more. And not more as in work more so they can buy more and be caught up in paying bills, but more beneficial, more support, more engaging, loving more, laughing more, giving more, supporting others more. Will the world or your street be better because of it? Totally, 100%. I think we can all agree there. So when you start to think of the benefit, it's not about the benefit that what I can do and how I can serve you in particular. It's what I can serve to you that can benefit 10, 20, 30 people down the line. And when you start to think like that, it can really open up to understand your own product that you can provide to others. Third, your output. The output is an interesting factor. Like vacuum cleaners, for example, they have different settings, right? They have a standard setting and then a max output. They have a hardwood setting and then a carpet setting. And on top of that, they have a different, like a dial setting or a blender. It has a low, medium, high. Or if you own a Vitamix, it goes from 1 to 10, 1 being really slow, 10 being really fast. What is the output that you have that you can benefit others? And is that output continuous? Is that output something that is on a daily, regular basis? Or is there one day that you wake up and you're jacked and motivated and excited, and then the next day you just totally fall to the wayside and you don't care? It's an interesting conversation when you start to understand output and what is the potential that of energy that you can give out to the world, to yourself, to the individual that would purchase you. Sometimes we give more output to our work than we do our family. Sometimes we give more output to our friends than we do to our own kids. Sometimes we give our own more output to others than ourselves. And when you start to go down that rabbit hole or down that river, you start to identify the output that you give out in the world, and you start to think, is that valuable for yourself? Is that valuable for others? Is that valuable in the idea of who you are, and where you want to go? It's an interesting conversation. And lastly is your LTV, your long-term value. We buy quality things. If you have the money, if you're able to, all of us are going to buy quality things. A lot of us have Apple products because we believe the value's there. We know the company is going to be in business for a long time. We know the product is engineered to be used and abused and to be very, very technology advanced. So by the time the years go on, it should still be working and functioning correctly. And the same with you. What is your long-term value? Are you an individual that's going to hit it hard? You're going to have amazing benefits. You're going to give output every single day. And then come week 3, 5, 20, 27, or 10 years down the road, and you're just going to fall to the wayside and wither away? And that's the question. When long-term value comes into retrospect here, you need to identify if that's who you are. You need to think, okay, am I in it for the long haul? You probably listen to podcasts like myself or other individuals who have a long history, that have a long amount or a lot of podcasts because you know that they're in it for the long haul. Are you going to listen to a podcast that has only one episode that was published back in 1985? No, you're not, because you know that that person's not in it for the long-term value to benefit you. You're going to stick with people that have long-term value and benefits to yourself. Look at our friends, for example, that you met in grade school or high school. Those individuals have long-term value for you. You're still talking to them. Sure, some other friends have faded. Sure, some other people have gotten out of the way. But at the end of the day, those individuals have stuck with you. The value you see in those people has benefited you, and that's why you continue to put energy into that relationship. And to reflect on the price that you would be charging others, or the benefits that you have, the output you have, or even the long term value, the LTV that you would put and stamp on your own box, as in yourself, you need to think to yourself, would somebody buy me? Would I buy myself? And if you don't think anybody would, if you think you're worthless, I want you to think, for example, and reference the relationships that you're in, the company that hired you, or the friends that you have. Somehow, somewhere within those three, depending on what is going on currently, you have relationships that are deeper than a friendship. You have a company, or you had a company that you were working with, or you have friends or had friends that understood that you had something to give them in one of those categories. And so, even though you may feel down on yourself, even though you may feel like nothing's come together, even though you may feel that you're the only one standing up for what is right, you do have value out there. You do have a price, you do have benefits, you do have an output, and you do have a long-term value, because somewhere in the rough, those people saw it in you. So you need to think, you need to think, am I worth it? Would I buy myself? Who am I when no one is around? If you were to put yourself on a shelf, what would you charge? What would your benefits be on the back? What kind of output would you have? And would the value be there? This isn't so much of a podcast of what to do, how to do it, functional steps 1 through 3. And I know there's a lot of great podcasts like that. I just think, though, in a world of steps and procedures and ideas and 3 tips, it's a little overran. And we don't get to the connection part. We don't get to the deeper layer, to the sub-layer of what potentially is a great product that you have, a great product that can benefit others, a great product that is wanted, that is needed in the marketplace today. And I'm not saying that you should, manifest and make up this product that you want to sell, but what I'm saying is you need to identify who you are when no one is around, and to see if that's in alignment of who you think that should be standing inside of that box with all the marketing materials around it. Like I said, Dyson and Shark, they do a great job. They push a lot of money to make us want to buy them. What do you have that makes you want to buy you? I appreciate you guys. I thank you for your time. I hope that this is a wake-up call or an idea to go, interesting. I don't know. I don't know those answers. But hopefully you can find them. Hopefully you can identify them. And hopefully they will allow you to wake up to what is potentially something freaking awesome. Because you are a product that can benefit your neighborhood, your family, the people, friends, family, relatives, coworkers, but most importantly, you can benefit the outcome of this planet, the outcome of what it is you call life. And it's up to you to live that. It's up to you to desire that. And most importantly, it's up to you to wake up and do that. That's the most important part. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. I thank you for being a part of Operation Self Reset. If there's anything I can do for you, email me, jake@operationselfreset.com. And until next week, Wednesday, be freaking awesome. Give a little bit of awesomeness to somebody who personally needs it. And until then, we'll talk to you soon. I thank you. I appreciate you guys, and I love you from the bottom of my heart. Until next week, keep on being freaking awesome. See ya.